Welcome to my daily practice at Wendy Coad Art. If you find this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life and I am excited to invite you into my studio and show you my art practice. I paint every day and I do acrylic on paper. I also do stencils. I draw. I organize my studio space. I do a lot of things. For me, art is about problem solving, so there's always little tricks and tools that I can share with you along the way. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I wear two microphones and I have three phone cameras. Um, and and there's a reason for that, and that is because something always seems to go wrong. And it's very difficult when I'm doing the video so that you can join me in my studio. If I forget one of these, million things, like I'm just noticing here, that camera is not turned on. So I overdo it, and that's actually not overdo it. Well, I guess it is. I mean, I do more than I need to, than I would need to if I was absolutely accurate and got everything perfectly, just perfect. But I'm not that person, and my art is not that practice. And so just this thought came into my mind, of course, because I also I paint more paintings than I need to, or do I need 6 of a very similar type of painting, with the colors, etc. And the answer is that I do not have a 100% success rate. I know there are artists who can just really stay on it, and well, I actually know that not everything is perfect. Not everything works. So then, well, what's the success rate? Well, at times I've had as low as a 20% success rate. I know. I said at times, not all the time, and up to an 80% success rate. I mean, that is stellar, I think. So what's in between? 50%. So if I want 1 or 2 paintings, I have to paint 4 or 5 paintings, and that's what I do because I can, and it's easy. And I work on the paintings multiples at a time. And then the ones that are not successful, I can recycle into the smaller paintings, of which I have a certain success rate there too. They're not all perfect either. And the day, the moment, the month that I gave up the need for perfection was when I started living as an artist, when I really started to open up and feel so comfortable in my own studio, in my own, in myself. And it's a noble goal to aim for perfection. I want, if I ever need a surgery, I want my surgeon to, that's the area of expertise I want him or her to be in. However, that doesn't happen either, but I'm not going down that road right now. However, this is very forgiving, I think, or I forgive it for not working. So now it works just fine for me. I don't know who needed to hear that today, but anyway, I'm divulging my philosophies and my secrets as they kind of come into my mind. So again, with the camera set up, I have a I have about a 50% success rate. Yeah, I am not Francis Ford Coppola or any of the brilliant movie producers. I I struggle just to keep them all going all at the same time. And don't even get me started with the editing. I'm still in iMovie and it's a it's a trip. But I love it. I love it because it's kind of like watching if you're an athlete and somebody videoed the game and then you get to watch it and see what you did right and see what you did, what you didn't do and what you could do better the next time or where you could fill in some of the gaps, etc. Then it's kind of like that as I edit. So I do enjoy that. It just gets to be a little tedious, but it's worth it. There's a lot of art that comes through that repetition or through that tedious uh, experience that you just have to go through. So today, I'm going to be working on these paintings. I am going to start on the back wall. I have some new paintings on the other side. Somebody a while back in the comments had talked about how slow and plodding the work can be, um, and that made me happy. Not because I wanted to, bore someone to tears. Sorry if that happens, but there's a lot of nothingness that happens in the studio. There's a lot of that kind of time. That's part of the process. I remember seeing a quote by someone, I can't remember who it was, but they said, uh, if to be an artist is you have to have a willingness to waste time. And I know that waste is in quotation marks, or it is in my mind, because it's not a waste of time. That those moments where you're just staring at the paintings and not really thinking that much. There is a lot that's going on, a lot that's being processed, and it's balance. You have the active and you have the inactive or passive, I guess, and and those are undulating constantly and are yin to yang. They're essential for each other. So, having gotten all of that out, I'm going to start to do some painting. So let's see. Let me take a brush to these panels initially. Yes, my brush, but I don't have water. And I'm seeing a lot of green and kind of a beigey color here. Where are we? This is the USSR and the Arctic Ocean and Greenland. I love these maps. And we've got, I don't know where these places are, and I can't even pronounce the names. Open B, Pilot Grove, Ogden, Pittsville. And this one is Uchi Inhapai Chuka, which I don't know how to pronounce, but I see here it's in China. And then Palmdale, oh, Florida. Well, they're going to be turned into paintings now. And it doesn't take much to turn it into a painting. One brush stroke, two brush strokes. Let me get my deep purpley red. after avoiding it for some time. I must have had a bad experience with it. Oh, I'm sure I did, because it is a little difficult, but it's just been nice to work with. You know what, I was just thinking of those circles that I was making the other day, but I think those are just a little too much, either for the paintings that I want to do, or maybe for me at this moment. Just start with some shapes. I haven't done shapes for a while. And I don't work with a brush as much as I used to. I have to say, a nice narrow brush on, one side and wider on the other side, you can really play around with shapes. Oh yeah. Huh. Well, we're getting into shapes now. So, are those lakes? Um, are they mountain tops? Are they, shapes on a map? Everything, everything can say something and different things to different people. I kind of like that. How about a lozenge shape? Put two shapes. And I have, plenty of problems here. This is so beautiful. It's so kind of pristine the way it is. Maybe I will leave it that way. I mean, there's just something about the organization of this map and the colors. Um, yeah, I could leave it as some kind of punctuation. And I'm starting to think now, this has taken a while. I've been looking at this particular painting. It's got a large amount of the color, too much actually, but let's just see how that works. I think I want it on the squeegee. And I love how the squeegee can actually create lines. I want this to be a little more boxed in. Well, I think that has started. I don't think that's the end of it. Actually, I want something even darker in terms of color there. But I do like these intense colors. I do. And I'm going to continue with them in other places. That's very interesting. I haven't used shapes, the round shapes, for a while because the squeegee mainly does, although I could make circles with it. Oh gosh, I could do, it would be awful though, but I could do a bullseye with the squeegee. Uh, and, hearken in the spirit of Sonia Delaney. But and now I can't not have that thought. That would be interesting. Would I like to try that on? I'm just going to do it. I can always always use the painting as a um, as a recycler. Actually, I have that idea for these two panels here. So why don't I just try that on one of these? I already put circles on one, but it was not the full spectrum of the squeegee. Huh. So I'm going to do the full spectrum of the squeegee and see how that goes. This is just a little test. I'm just trying to kind of experiment. And what do you experiment on? You have to experiment on the things that you're working on, or start something new. But I'm already kind of full up here, so I'm just going to start with the things that I'm working on. I still have some paint on this brush. All painted up and nowhere to go. Oh, but that sounds rather odd. All art painted up and nowhere to go. All right, now this is where things slow down a bit. And I could add music, I guess. But you know what? I'm really interested in the painting, not so much in the videography. I mean, it is important. I get that, but there's only so much you can do. Now, as I recall, that pink was not very forthcoming. Put a little peach in here. Oh. The only thing that's missing is green, but I'm going to use turquoise. All right. So where do you think I should put it? Like right in the middle here? This is going to be a thing. kind of zigged where I should have zagged. Huh. Oh dear. The turquoise is killer. I could have done something else there. I mean, it's got potential. You can see it's got potential, but that's not really my favorite. Let's just see what a half circle is going to do. And a quarter circle. Why not? Quarter circles might be it. It's so rainbow-esque. It is kind of nice. Well, bullseye. And that's what happens. That's what can happen when you try to, when you experiment. All right, of course I have to wait for that paint to dry. I have no idea what is going on there. But it's exciting, but it's a little bit much for right now. So I'm just going to put some lines in these. It's interesting because a diagonal line, when you've got this grid, you know, and it's up and down, horizontal and vertical, the diagonal line can really just take it somewhere. And sometimes it's not where you want it to go. Not such a good idea. All right, I have to breathe now. That was exciting. Look at that. Still marveling. Okay, but it's like you know, it's kind of like a tricky pony. Not just sure I want, you know, it's not, anyways, I'm gonna not think about it for now because I really have no idea where that will go. I mean, of course I'm thinking about it, I'm just not talking about it because I don't even know what to say. There's a lot going on in my head. And I don't have a red, but I don't want that red. I'm going to go with a cadmium deep. Still need to poke a hole in the top here. I can't tell you how much the impulse to do this on everything is now moving into my being. And I mean, I could. I don't have a problem with that. It's just that I want to wait. I want to wait. And so I will. Because I can always do it tomorrow. And I probably will do it tomorrow. Well, I've already turned these around once. Hmm. I like that. So instead of just a line, there was enough paint there, so it was kind of like a dollop of paint. Let's see if I can do that here. So it's quite colorful. And then I drew the line, but actually I don't think I need to draw the line there. However, this is separated into two areas, left and right. And I want to bring them a little more together. So do that. That worked. And then draw these out. That worked too. And then sometimes when I don't get the squeegee right to the edge, I kind of feel like I want to tie that in too. And when these blocks just start half an inch or an inch from the edge. Yeah, I think that's more interesting actually. This one's like the elephant in the room. It's going to try and stay calm. They're like little spaceships. I like them. They give a nice sharpness. You know, everything's kind of diffused. And it's probably the last one that this paint can handle. I'm not very good at staying on, you know, on the line. Well, that took me places that I didn't know I wanted to go, but I'm happy. I'm just going to move some of this paint onto my paper here. I like the quality of the breakdown of the pigment. I mean, the pigment is suspended in a medium, and when you add a lot of water, then that breaks down. And oh yeah, and so I like that. A lot of times it works. I really like what it does, but sometimes it just kind of makes it look a little dirty or messy. And I'm adding dots. You'll see in one of the videos. I think that will be good. All right. So thank you for joining me today. I think we hit a bullseye. Really, I can't believe I did that. But it's exciting. I mean, I'm loving it. It's just came out of left field. So, and that's a good day in the studio. So, thank you for joining me. And don't forget to look at some art or now go make art. So, I'm so happy that you are joining me today and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day to day as an artist. And I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here.